Hi and welcome to On the Water Flies. Today we're going to be tying a Royal Wulff in size 14. For this we're going to go ahead and mash the barb of the hook and then place the hook into the vise. Go ahead and take some black thread, wrap it around the shank of the hook, about a hook of an eye gap between the thread and the hook of the eye. Cut off your tag end. Once you have that tied on, go ahead and work it towards the front, and from here we'll be tying in the wings of the fly, which is going to be either white calf body hair or tail hair. For this video we're using tail hair. Once you have it tied in, go ahead, pull it back towards the back and build up a thread dam in front of it. This accomplishes a couple of things. It's going to lock that wing into place and it's going to make it stand up, as you can see here. Cut off the excess angle, so when you tie the thread towards the back you get a smooth transition. From here we're going to go ahead and split the hair. Once you have it split, go ahead and take your thread and do a figure 8 wrap a couple times around the wing. As you can see here, my wings aren't really standing up after I did that, so I went back, built up more of a thread dam in the front. If your wings do that, just go ahead and do the same thing. It'll get them standing right back up. From here you want to kind of cut out all these little hairs that are sticking out from the sides of the fly that aren't in the wing at all. Once you've done that, go ahead, take your thread towards the back to right before the bend of the hook. From here we're going to be tying in some moose body hair for the tail. Go ahead and cut out a clump of your moose body hair and use a hair stacker to line the tips. Make it about the length of the shank of the hook. Go ahead and tie it in. Moose hair can sometimes be a little slick. Wants to roll to one side of the hook here. If it does it, go ahead and just put it back up into place. With it in place, you can hold it there and keep doing loose thread wraps at the beginning, but when you work your way towards the front of it, go ahead and really bite down on it to kind of tie it in, hold it in place. And when you work your way back, you can do some tighter thread wraps to lock it even more into place. Go ahead and cut out your excess. Be careful not to cut your wings at all. Once you have your excess cut out, we're going to be taking Peacock herl. Here we're using 3 strands. You can cut off the tips of the Peacock herl since they tend to be the most brittle, and tie it in a little bit further back on your Peacock herl so it doesn't break as easily. Get them tied in and leave your thread right behind the wings of the fly. Once they're tied in, go ahead, take your 3 Peacock herls and twist them to form a rope. You don't want to twist them too much. If you twist them too much, you still run the risk of breaking them. Once you have them twisted enough, go ahead and wrap them around the body of the fly. At this point, you can go ahead and tie in your peacock herl. Cut off the excess. From here, we're going to be tying in a brown ginger hackle. Take your feather, tie in the tip right behind the wings, and take your thread to in front of the wings and tie in the rest of the tip on the front of the fly, and cut off any little extra you might have there. From here, we're going to do 3 wraps of our hackle behind the tail, or not behind the tail, behind the wings of the fly, making sure our hackle lays right. Once we do 3 wraps, we're going to move in front of the wings, do another 3 wraps. And go ahead and tie off our hackle. From here, we're going to take the thread and build up the head of the fly. Once you have a little bit of a head built up, you can go ahead and whip finish with the black thread. If you have another bobbin, you can have it preloaded with red thread for the midsection of the body. If not, you can always take your bobbin that you're using, take your thread out and reload it with red thread. Or trying to tie a bunch of these, it would be best to have 2 bobbins on hand. After you whip finish here, you can go ahead and finish that with a drop of head cement or UV glue. From here, we're going to take that red thread and tie it into the body of the fly. Once you have it started, you can go ahead and cut off the tag end. And we're just going to build up the midsection of this fly using red tying thread. Once we have this midsection built up and tied off, you can also whip, or once you whip finish it, you can put a drop of head cement on that midsection as well. That'll just help lock in that midsection thread. This is a very good fly. It's a very universal pattern. Be used during almost any hatch on the river. It's used for areas where there's lots of turbulent water where most dry flies would sink. This fly has a lot of floatability to it. And there we go. That is the Royal Wulff fly, size 14. You can tie in a variety of different sizes. You can also use longer hook shanks to make it a little bit longer body. Thank you for joining us on the Water.